Okay. Pin. I'm going to mute everyone if that's okay.
Yeah.
Speak to you at the end. Unmute yourself if there's a question or a problem. Okay.
Stop the video.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So first things first, if you want to just bring yourself down onto your mat. We're just going to take a little seat for a second. Do have your bands fairly handy. I want you to, as we normally do, just unravel your feet a little bit so you've actually got a bit of space for your knees to actually bring them down. And just because of the kind of day everyone's had, I just want you to sort of think, right, okay, I just need to get myself a little bit more into the moment, a little bit more into the room, rather than flitting around with 100 million other things that are going on in your head. So what I'd like you to do, it's not quite sort of arm yoga pose unless you would like to do that. Just rest your arms down or rest your hands down to the side. And then I just want you to close your eyes and sit your back up nice and straight. And I just want you to just concentrate for a little second on your breathing. So in through your nose, out through your mouth, okay? And just take about 4 or 5 just deep breaths. What will happen is that you'll just realize the first couple of breaths are quite shallow. And then just give me 1 second, sorry, this is coming in. Oh, Teddy. Hi, darling. I've muted everyone, but hopefully you're okay, everyone. Fantastic. Okay. Just we've already started, darling. So just join in when you're ready. I've just got to shoot the dog. Teddy, shut up. Oh, naughty little dog. Right. Sorry, Ursula. We were just making a start. So if you make sure you've got band available. So apologies, everyone. Let's just get back to where we were. So just relax. And then if you want to close your eyes and then just keep taking a few deep breaths. Okay, so in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just try really hard just to relax. Okay, just try to get that breathing deeper each time you do it, and just sink yourself down into the mat without your back curving. So we're just keeping our back nice and straight, shoulders down away from your ears. Breathe in and release. One more time, breathe in nice and deeply and relax. Good. Right, after the kerfuffle of the day, you should be feeling a tad more calm now. So I'll just explain, we're going to do a few stretches, and there's a particular, we do quite a lot of band work today, and there's a particular balance move that I'd like everyone to try. And again, as with absolutely everything, if things get too hard, you just regress down to where we were, or if you're perfectly comfortable, you just progress up with me. So hands down to the side. First thing, just a little roll of your shoulders. And the other way. Good, hand down to the side. One arm up. And we're leaning over. That's it. Try and keep both bum cheeks on the floor. And then nice and tall and bring it over. And then we're cartwheeling the other arm up, nice and tall and bringing it over. Good. And up. Let's go a tiny bit further this time. So all the way up, nice and tall. And then we're over. That's it. Fantastic. And all the way up and over. Feel that lovely stretch down the sides. Okay, bring your hands forwards and just drop your head but push your shoulders back. So your arms should be straight, and you've just got that push of your shoulders back. Your neck should feel this. It should feel super nice if you've been sat all day. Okay, just release them. We're going to walk our hands down really slowly. Now, if that's just to here, that's absolutely fine. Or if your legs are a little bit higher and you just need to look forwards, that's absolutely fine. Just go to where you can. If you can reach the floor, we're reaching the floor. So bring your hands out. That's it. A few deep breaths at the bottom. Just feel your hips starting to loosen, because they are likely to be very, very tight if you've just been sat down all day. That's it. A couple of deep breaths. Okay. Very, very, very slowly start to coil yourself out of that, depending on where you are. That's it. And come back to the top and just roll your shoulders back, just making sure that they stay down. Right, so let's have a look at how far down our knees are going. So just to give an example, if we are still up here, I want you to bring your elbows in and place your hands together, breathing in and then out. Okay, so we are going to practice that. With those, it's a little bit lower. If it's dead on the floor, you can still do this, but if there's still a little bit of bounce and movement there, then you've got some room to move. Place your arms onto your knees and then take hold of the front of your foot and leg, and then you're going to just use your elbows to persuade, is the word, persuade, not force, persuade your knees down. And what that should do is open up the whole of your hip area. It's just a slight extension of what we've just done. Just a little bit of pressure, drop your head. Breathe in and loosen it slightly. Breathe out and push down. So it doesn't matter where you are on this, that's what you're doing. Breathe in and loosen. Breathe out and bring it down. Good. Okay, just slowly release. Put your hands behind you and just being careful you're not going to hit bits of furniture. And then I want you to, without pushing your head backwards, I want you to lift your chest nice and high. So you're not losing your neck all the way back. Just keep your chin fairly close to your chest. Stretch out chest area, pectoral muscles. Deep breath. And that's it. Uncoil from that. Bring your hands round to the front, locking your fingers tight. Circles, head down. Deep breath. Feel that right around the back and release. And again, deep breath. And release. Good. Right. Whilst we're in this position, I want to do some fairly strong shoulder work. So we're going to start there. If you want to grab the band that you have, if you have multiple choice, go for a lighter band. So Steve, if you want to definitely not use the black one on this, because I don't think you'll have any shoulders left if you do that. So we're going to start with it around our wrists, and then you're going to straighten your arms. And we're just going to start with a little expansion out and then come to the middle. A little expansion out and come back again. Down, bring them out towards your knees and back and up and out and back. So nice and slowly, nice and controlled. This does add up, so I don't want to go completely insane at first. I don't think I'll get any thanks for that. Out and up, nice and tall. Now your arms know what they're doing. Shoulders should start to warm up. What's your back doing? Have you completely started arching? Have we lost posture? So try and keep your back nice and straight. And bring it down. Squeeze and straight and lift. That's it. A couple more times. Out Arms nice and straight, but shoulders away from your ears. One more. And squeeze. Lovely. Bring it down. So what you should feel is lactic acids just starting to build around this, the deltoid area. It shouldn't feel painful. If it is painful, lose the band. But what it should feel is quite strong. That's where we need to get to. Not painful, just strong, okay? So now I want to add in a little bit of a pulse, but we're going to start with a pulse down the bottom. So we're going to do 10 pulses down the bottom and then bring it up to the center in 10 pulses, okay? So when I say pulse, it's just 1, 2, 3, okay? So just little tiny pulses. So let's start down the bottom at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bringing it up, and 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Roll your shoulders. Just warming up now. Okay, off we go. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Straight up. And 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Okay, that should be really warming up now. Oh, right, one more. Should be mildly burning by the end of this. And off we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's be brave. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Acid. Oh. Very good. Just drop the band for a second and just give your arms a little shake out. Right. That sorted the wheat from the chaff, didn't it? So let's really finish the shoulders off. And we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so really high up is very much harder. So if you're finding it too hard, bend. The more you bend your arms, the easier that actually is. If they are dead straight and right up here and you've got a hard band, that's really hard. So if you do feel any twinges in your shoulder, it's actually hurting, really bring it down, okay, or just lose the band entirely. So when you see me doing this up here, I will just do it very gently because of this shoulder, but you guys know what to do. So we're going to try and do up and back down again, all right? So one little pulse, let's go. 1, and the center, 1, and up the top, 1, back down to the center, 1, and down. That's a full set. Off we go. Keep going. I'm hoping to high heaven you can't hear that click in my shoulder because that is horrific. And center and bottom and up and top and center and bottom. Right, let's add 2. 1, 2. Center, 1, 2. Up the top, 1, 2. Good. Back down, 1, 2. 1, 2. Up, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's add 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, 3. Middle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3. And up. 3, 2, 1. Middle. 3, 2, 1. Bottom. 3, 2, and 1. Ah. Woo! Very good. Right, just loosen that off for a second. Brilliant. Well done, everyone. So shoulders, we'll certainly be feeling that right now, possibly be feeling it in the morning. So whilst we're here, I just want you to bring one arm over, one arm back, and we'll just twist that back out. So looking over your shoulder, holding it here, deep breath. Good. Bring yourself back to center. Other arm over and backwards and twisting it out. Deep breath. Good, and go back to center. Wonderful. Right, so whilst we're down here, let's take the bands again, but we're going to put them around the bottom half this time. So just make sure that you have a little bit of space behind you, okay? So we're going to put them on, and we're going to put them on just above your knees. So take a choice, Steve in particular, if you've got more than one band, take a choice on which one you'd like to go. You can go a tiny bit heavier on this one if you want to. Okay, so hopefully bands on. First of all, just put your legs straight. No, legs straight, flex your toes, and then point them. You can put your hands back if you want to and just rest. Just make sure your back's straight. Flex and point. Flex, point. One more. Oh, really feel that down the back of your legs and point. Right, just rolling your ankles. That's it. Poor feet, they just get completely disregarded. They're doing a lot of work all day and they're just totally forgotten about. Just a little scrunch of your toes. Good, right. So flexors, feet, arms all the way up. And then we're going to hinge forward. Hold on to those toes if you can. If not, you're down by your ankles or knees or wherever you're reaching. Wherever you are, head down. Deep breaths down here. Now, if you're easily reaching your toes, I want you to push your toes forward. You should get more of a stretch around your shoulder blades. That's it. Okay, releasing and arms up and down. Wonderful. Right, just bend your knees very, very slightly. Create that room. And then we're going to roll down. Oh, nice and slowly. Fantastic. Right, let's do a nice little glute burn. Then I want to do a really good strong stretch out of your inner thighs, okay? Because it's very rarely going to get a stretch out unless you do it specifically. So I'd like you to come onto your toes today. So if this is starting to cramp, because it can on occasion, obviously just bring your heels right down. But if you can bring your toes fairly close in, up onto your toes, if that's comfortable for you, that's going to be a little bit of a stronger stretch. So hands onto your hips, I want you to tilt your pelvis under, and so your back should be fairly flat onto the floor. And I want you to tilt just a teeny, teeny, tiny bit, and then release it back down. So you are just lifting your glutes off the floor, only just, and then release. Now just think that 1 or 2 vertebrae up, so just lift it even further. You should feel it on your back. A vertebrae higher, and then down, release, and then all the way up. One more. You're still mid-back by this point, and back down, and release fully. Just make sure you're fully releasing. Squeeze, and on the way up, so you should be just about your lower. Sit all the way down, shoulder blades, sorry. All the way up, just onto your shoulder blades now, just the bottom of your shoulder blades. Remember, if your feet are starting to feel a bit crampy, just put your heels down, release, and let's go all the way up now. So curl it up, curl it up, curl it up. It should be on top of your shoulders, and you'll notice because you've got your you're on your toes, you should be able to get a little bit higher. So really, really squeeze those hip bones right to the ceiling. Have a little check. Are your glutes engaged? What are they doing? And roll it down. And release. Right, let's do that again. Roll it up. Lift, 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 lift. Squeeze. This time, arms, if you're balanced enough, arms over and squeeze up. Squeeze it up, hold it there. Now, keep your arms to the back and super lovely roll. Oh, back stretch all the way down. Right to the bottom. release entirely, so you should create a tiny little arch in your back, and then arms down. Right, if your toes are feeling, oh, they're going to cramp, just put your heels down, just give them a little wriggle, bring yourself back up if you're comfortable. Okay, let's do that again. So this time we're going to add that resistance band in. So lift it up, nice and high, hips super high, tummy pulled in, arms up and over. Really squeeze it up. Now let's just start working those knees outwards. Try to keep all your toes on the floor. There is a pressure that goes onto your ball of your feet a little bit on this. Again, if it's uncomfortable, go straight down to your heels. Hold it out. Really feel that squeeze, 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 squeeze. Bring your knees back in nice and slowly. Don't let the band ping. And then roll it down. Roll down, roll down, roll down. Release and arms down. Right, let's do a little variation on that. So all the way up. Nice and high, arms over. Right, bringing those knees out. Right out as far as you can. Feel that squeeze around your glute medius and your maximus. And we're going to do 10 little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it out. Keep them out. Roll it down. Keep that engaged. Keep it engaged. Roll, 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 roll. And once you're at the bottom, bring your knees together. Oh. Okay, just bring your knees in for a second. Just rest your toes out. Give them a little crunch. And little tiny rocks or tiny rolls. Good stuff, everyone. So glutes should be engaged without hurting. They should be engaged. All right, so bring it back down. This time, I want you to feel the difference. I want you to actually bring your toes up and your heels down. So you're really, really, really flexing the toes. It's quite strong. Let's give that a go. Now, what you'll feel is a huge difference in your legs. Roll it up. Try to keep those toes off the floor. And can you feel that your legs have got to do a hell of a lot more work there? You should engage your legs a lot more than your glute, or just as much as your glutes. Arms up and over. I personally find this a lot harder this way, because you can't get your hips up as high, and your legs really do feel some of that. Hold it up there and roll it down. Roll, roll, roll. And release. That's it. Okay, so let's try that again. If it's too hard, please just put your toes back on the floor, okay? This is an extension of what we're already doing, so it's already hard enough. Take your toes off, it's much harder. Bring it all the way up. For your legs having to do the work just as much as your glutes. Arms up and over. Squeeze. Now let's squeeze those knees out. Squeeze them out. Squeeze them out. Hold it here. Squeeze. Depending on what band you've got, really squeeze it out. Roll it back down. Keep those knees out. Roll down, roll down, roll down. Release and bring your knees together. Arms down. Wonderful. Right, last one. Try and keep those toes up if you can, if it's not cramping everything. And lift and roll. Up and over with your arms. Keep everything nice and controlled. Balance required here as well. Bring it out. And we're going to pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Roll it down. Oh, and release. Well done. Just bring those legs in for a sec. And just give your feet a little roll, ankles a little roll. And then lower back little roll. Hopefully everyone's lower back's not complaining. It shouldn't be. It should be all in your glutes. Right. Before we move on, final little glute burn. So they should be very, very active, but not totally burning yet until now. So feet flat on the floor for this one. Just make sure you feel comfortable. Bring your heels back towards your glutes again. We're going to come up just a little way, okay? So you can just get your hand underneath your bum, and then we're going to bring those knees right out again, right out. Make sure your toes are on the floor though. Okay, we're going to do 3 rounds, 10 sets. Are we ready? I will count, and pulsing out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out, hold it out. Second round, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Really squeeze it out. 3, 2, 1. Hold, hold, hold. Last one should not be that comfortable. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze. Roll it down and bring it in. Wonderful. Now, depending on the band you've got there, that could be very tough. Last round. Roll it all the way up now. Up, feet on the floor. Nice and high with those hips. Bring it out. All the way out. And off we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. If it's too hard, don't do the pulsing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Re-up with your hips. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Roll it down and release. Oh, even with a red band, that hurts. So just put one leg over the other, bring your knees in, and that should release your top leg glutes. Hold it nice and tight. The more you bring it in, should release it more. Hold it here. Very good. Okay, bring it down, swap legs. Back up. And then hold on to those knees. Oh, it's a really, really good one if you've got tight glutes, if you're feeling on a run and everything's really tight. This is a really good one. Hold it there, hold it there. Good. Right, if you can, whilst you're lying down, just slip the band off. And what I want you to do is actually hook, doesn't matter which foot, just hook one foot, if you can see what I'm doing, into your foot, and then you're holding on like stirrups with the other one. If you just give me a second, I'm actually just going to swap. It's actually a little bit easier to do it. And so if you have a choice, in particular, go for a slightly heavier one because it's just a little bit easier. But if you don't, it works perfectly okay. So we are going to pull that leg towards you a little bit. Now, if you do need to re-hold your band in a different way, just to pull it in a little bit easier, then please do so. Keep the other leg on, foot on the floor, and just draw that very, very gently closer to you. Now you should feel a very strong stretch on your hamstrings, back of your leg. Try really hard to keep that leg straight. It will make it stronger. And very, 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 very slightly release. Okay, now, super careful with this one. As you are bringing your leg out to the side, I want you to bring your other knee out. So you're going to counterbalance. So we're bringing that leg out. Just be careful on this one because it is quite strong. Use the band to create some control, and gravity will sink that leg down. Hand on hip or hand to the other side. Just to balance yourself, hold it here. Now that should be really strong. If it's far too strong, just bend your leg slightly. It takes the pressure right off. If you can keep your legs straight, that will provide more of a stretch. But what will happen is it just kind of sinks. It ends up sinking a little bit more. If your leg is really low to the ground or on the ground, just pull the band closer to you, and that provides more of a stretch. Be surprised if anyone does have their legs fully on the ground whilst this glute is on the ground. Both glutes on the ground. Now to come back up, just very slightly unlock your leg. and bring it up. That's it. Super careful, nice and slowly. Straighten that leg. Bring the other leg up to meet, and then you're going to swap. Other foot down. Just as elegantly as you can, a beautiful little swap. So re-grab the band differently if you need to, and then we're pulling that other leg in. And when I say pull, I don't mean yank. Pulled hamstring, not so nice. Stretched hamstring, very nice. That's it. That should loosen. It might feel very, very tight. Just give it a few seconds to loosen off there. That's it. Okay, right. So just loosen it very slightly and do exactly the same thing. So counterbalance with your other leg, hand out to the side or on your hip, and then you're just bringing that leg down. Make sure that you're not, both bum cheeks are still on the floor. You're not slipping and rolling. Now relax your shoulders, and that leg will just sink. Again, if it's far too strong, just bend your knee very slightly, bend your leg. Now you may find that one side is a lot easier to go down than the other. Just roll with it, because most people have one hip and hamstring looser than the other. Right, bend your knee very, very slightly and roll it up. Just careful not to pinch groin. That's it. Right, now we're going to go a tad trickier. So if you don't want to, we're just going to stay here. So bring both feet in now. Now, if that is, my God, that's as far as we're going, totally fine. Just hold it here. You can bend your knees if you want to. That's super hard with them straight. If it is not too hard with them straight, they can overlap slightly, by the way. Then we're going to bring both in. Now, your bum can come off the floor. We'll do a version where it doesn't in a minute. And where you should feel that pressure, yes, the back of your legs, but you should feel a little bit of pressure on your mid-back because it's got your weight on it. So using the band as a stirrup, pull it in. Lovely, lovely, lovely stretch. Right, now just release it slightly. And then what I want you to do is try and keep your bum on the floor. You won't go anywhere near as far, but it's a very, very, very strong stretch. If it's too strong, just lift your bum off. If everything's starting to shake, bend your legs slightly. Okay, nice and slowly release. Now, if you just bear with me a second, because I'm going to have to shift, because the next one I'm probably going to hit my pieces of equipment. So you can stay where you are and just feel that nice stretch, but we are going to do a more advanced version in a second. You just move. Okay. So we're bringing our legs up. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it forward. And then if you were wanting to, you bring your legs behind you. Okay, now it does require just a little bit of a swing to get them up and over. But we're going to swing them up if you want to. Hold it here. Just try to relax. Right, slowly use the band, slowly bring it down. That should feel super nice on your back. Oh, excellent. Right, unhook your feet from the band and just come into a little ball, little tiny rocks. Very good, everyone. Right, that should be a bit of a super, super duper stretch there. Right, bring your feet down. Let's see what that core's doing today. So, hands in front of you, make your legs long, and we're going to lift and roll it up so you're upright. Okay, so let's have a look at the roll up, roll down, nice and slowly. If you really, really struggle with these, hook, you can always hook your feet under something, so under the sofa perhaps, if they're lower sofas. You could try doing that if you're really, really struggling. The longer your legs are, the easier this is. Right, I'm just going to move back again so you can see me. So let's try a little self-challenge. So challenge yourself. Bring your legs nice and long. Okay, so straight legs, hands in front of you, and then we're going to roll down. So when you're rolling, try not to drag. What can happen is your whole thing drags. Tilt your pelvis. Up and back. And then up. Lift your head. And lift nice and slowly. Wonderful. Now that shouldn't be all too difficult for you guys. I know you can do that. Now, just a tiny bend of your knees this time. So a little tiny bend. Let's see how we go with that. So rolling it down nice and slowly. Tummy is a break. And back. And arms up. Lift your head. And lift. Good. Should have found that mildly harder. Just a bit harder. Right, another inch in. Thought Teddy was just going to sit behind me then. Okay, so your feet are flat on the floor now. And then you're going to come down nice and slowly. Arms back. And arms up. Lift your head and lift. Good. Slightly harder. Very slightly harder. Okay, feeling brave. Another inch in. Inch it in. So your legs are a little bit more bent now. Let's go. Roll it down. Arms back. Arms up. Lift your head and squeeze and lift. Very good. Right, shouldn't be that easy now. If you're feeling particularly brave, we're going to do this 2 more times. So 1 more in. It's not completely far in. You've still got a little bit of gap, but this should be harder. So bringing it down. Down's not the problem. Definitely not. Back. Big stretch all the way up. Right. Squeeze your glutes. Lift your head and lift. Beautiful. Well done if you managed that. Now keep it there. If you're like, oh God, that was just about hard, too hard. Bring it right in. Right in. So you're in a little ball. Bring it right in. That's it. Don't if you're never going to get up. Rolling it down should not be easy. Down is easy. Okay. Up, back. Arms up. Lift, squeeze, and lift. Oh. Well done if you managed that. Good effort. My goodness. Right. Okay, before we move on to the balance that I wanted to try, I just want to do a couple more little bits with your core. So if you can start standing up, sitting up. If you have got your band to hand, it doesn't make a difference if you don't use the band, but it's just an interesting guide. So just put your hands inside your band, and then we're going to come to one side. So this is the center. Let me do it this way, actually, it's going to be a little bit easier to show. So, center point, I want you to come to one side, okay? We're going to create a little V shape. So we're going to come down, and as you're coming down, you're coming back into the center. If you have a small dog in the way as well, that helps. And then all the way back, it will come on the other side. So can you see? I'll do it quickly. I don't want you to do it quickly, but just to show you. So you're coming down, and that's the shape, okay, a V shape. This just keeps control. You don't have to use the band. So let's try a few of those. So bring it down, curl it down, nice and slowly, really slowly. Bring it back to the center, and as soon as you're back, you're bringing it to the other side and lift. The longer your legs are on this, again, it's a little bit easier. If you're really, really struggling, and you do happen to have a little weight with you, just hold on to the weight, it does make it a little bit easier. So let's do that again. Roll it down. Create that V shape. And back up. Let's see the other side. And back again. Go down. Teddy, what are you doing? And back up. Okay, let's do one more there and one more back. Roll it down nice and slowly. Not rushing through V-sits here. And back up. And then one more back again. So down. Slow, 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 slow. And back up. Wonderful. Well done. If you manage those at a really nice slow pace, fantastic. So just drop the band for me. Okay. So as mentioned, we're going to try a balance. Now, we haven't done this for a little while, and Ursula, I don't think we've done this. So we're going to give it a go. There's lots and lots and lots of stages, so you can always pull back to the next stage if you want to. So we're going to come onto all fours. First things first. Actually, first things first, I'm going to tuck my t-shirt in because that's going to go horribly wrong otherwise. Right. Okay, first things first, come onto all fours and we're just doing a little cat and cow stretch. So all the way up, drop your head nice, hold your belly button in, and release. Really sink it down and lift your head. Let's go one more time, all the way up. And through and all the way down. Okay, bring it back to center. Wonderful. Right, we are going to do a crow pose. And I can probably hear at least 3 of you go, oh. So, bring yourself onto your toes. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to do. So, I will show you what a full crow pose looks like, and then we're going to break it down. All right. First things first, we need to get the dog out of the way. Teddy, come on, move, baby dog. Right, this is a crow pose. You're coming onto your toes, you're putting your hands down. You're putting your elbows underneath your legs. So one of the reasons we did that split movement right at the beginning was to ensure that you were comfortable for this. I'm not asking you to do it, by the way, right now. I'm just going to ask you to look. You're going to lift up, head down, lean forwards, and take your feet off. That's a full crow pose. So we're going to break that down. So first things first, come onto your toes. Secondly, I want you to put your hands down in front of you. So you're halfway there already. Now, the tricky bit is actually tucking your elbows around and to your knees. So you need to sort of bend your arms very slightly and then just sort of rest. When you're bending it down, rest your knees onto your elbows. So I want you to practice that first. So literally just lean forwards and rest. You should feel that your inner thighs get a little bit of a stretch. And it kind of feels like we did when we were sat down. So bring yourself up again, lean forwards, and you should feel that stretch. One more, up, lean forwards, feel that pressure. Good. Right, bring yourself up. Now, this is the scary bit because you've actually got to lean. But I think the most difficult part of this is actually trying to ensure that you think your head's not going to hit the floor. It won't, but it looks like it might. So the next thing I want you to do is, so you're going to do that lean, then you're going to lift. Okay? So you're just going to lift. Feet are still very solidly on the floor. Bring yourself back down and up. So lean forwards, feel that pressure on the inner thighs. Lift up, lift your bum up. And what you should feel is that your legs you're going to put pressure onto your arms. Bring yourself down and bring yourself back up again. So if you just want to practice that and you're like, yep, I'm getting there with that, that's absolutely fine. If you want to go a little bit further, I want you to try and take a foot off. Now, I'm not there with you, so I can't catch you. If you feel like you are going to topple, for goodness sake, don't take your foot off. But if you think, oh, maybe I could just prise one toe off, give it a go, because you do need to have quite strong shoulders for this one. So hands down, bending your arms. Feel that pressure lift your bum, take a toe off. That's it. You should feel a lot of pressure onto your hands. Take a toe off. Bring it back down and reverse what you just did. Very good. Right, so if you are comfortable with that, swap legs. So don't take both off, swap legs. So we're going to hands down, bend your elbows slightly, feel that pressure on your inner thighs, lift your bum up, take the other foot off, feel that pressure in your hands, bring the foot down, release, and back up. Wonderful. Now, if you would like to practice that, I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to practice that and feel, okay, I can feel that pressure. It's more the pressure. If you do feel brave and or you can do this, I want you just to give it a go with a couple. Just make sure that your wrists aren't starting to take some pressure. So set yourself up exactly the same way, leaning forward, up. Take one foot off if you want to, and if you're feeling really brave, taking the other foot off. Holding it here, using your hands to steady yourself as a balance. And then you bring yourself down as soon as you're ready. Okay? Very, very good, everyone. Just give it a go. Remember, bring yourself out and waggle your wrists when you need to. Good. I'll just give you guys another minute if you want to have just a tad more of a practice. Very, very, very strong, not that easy move. There are variations on this and you can make it 10 times harder if you want to, but I think we'll start with the normal crow pose first. I think the others would probably need to be in the room with you. That's it. Good. Right, so if everyone's finished having a little practice of that, they are now masters of the crow pose. If you want to send a photo in, please do. This is me doing the crow pose. I think what I'm going to do, I was thinking about next month's challenge, and I think it might be the crow pose, mastering the crow pose. So if you want to get a bit of practice beforehand, you know what I'm doing next month. So just bring yourself back on back of your heels, just sitting down, back up nice and straight. First things first, I just want you to put your hands together and just give your wrists a little rock, because that is very strong on wrists, that one. One to practice if you're not quite there yet. I would possibly practice with a pillow in front of you though, just in case. Shake your wrists out. Good. So we're just going to split your knees, and we're coming all the way down into a child's pose. Stretch your hands out. Sorry, I'm just going to move. Stretch your hands out, head down, relax. Couple of deep breaths here, everyone. Just really try to relax those shoulders out and your hip flexors. Good. Okay, come onto your forearms. Then I want you to try and sit back as much as you can, because that makes it stronger. If it's too strong, you just bring your bum up. But we're going to feed our arms through and drop your head. Hold it here. Now, if that's nice and you want to stay there, you stay there. If not, we're going to twist our head a little bit further. We're going to lift our arm up. So you're looking towards your hand. Hold your arm nice and tall. Try and really reach the ceiling. Now, if you're holding it here and you think, yeah, that's nice, but I could probably do more, please stay here if it is very strong. To make this stronger, you put your hand behind your back. Push that shoulder back. That is really quite strong, that one. Bring your arm back up. And then place it back down on the floor. Spin your head and release your arm. Remember, with absolutely everything, don't do the full version if you don't want to. It's not a problem. Also, no one's watching, so you're fine. There is no pressure. So feed your other arm through, head down, hold it here if you want to. And then if not, we're coming all the way up, twist your head, look at your hand. And if you want to, bring it behind, extend that, push your shoulder back. Big old stretch, that one. Bring it up, bring it down, twist your head, bring your arm back through. Lovely. Woo, super strong stretch, that one. So bringing your knees together. We're going to come onto our toes. And then put your head down and bum up. Lift up. Yeah, just hold it here for a second. Everything nice and heavy. That's it. Okay, little tiny rocks from side to side. Little willow in the wind. Keep that head nice and heavy. Okay, come back to center. I'm going to push over to one side, so hand onto ankle, other hand onto your hand. Hold it here. Just again, be careful of your balance because you have been on the floor for a long time. And semicircle it all the way around. Bring it back to center and roll it up super slowly. Please be aware of the fact that your head might get a little bit of a rush. Stack those vertebrae. Head last. Arms up. Take a deep breath in. And relax it down. Right, just roll your shoulders. Good. Right, just jiggling of your legs very slightly. Just make sure your head feels okay because we've been down quite a bit. Give me 1 second, I'll just bring this up. Right. Okay, to finish, hip width apart. We're going to come all the way down and all the way up. Nice sweep, and onto your toes if you can. And back down. Now this time, it's not if you want to, try to close your eyes. It is a lot harder. You're going to end up wobbling around all over the place. Whoop, whoop. I can't do it. One more. Your option on eyes closed or open. Just about. And down. Wonderful. Give your legs a little shake. Fantastic, everyone. Thank you very, very, very much. Give me 1 second. I'll just unmute everyone. Right.